Just tell her the truth.
Well, let me practice. You be her.
Oh, good. Okay, hold on.
Anyways, I wear this fake wedding ring.
You're a pig. Just tell her you're getting a divorce.
It's over. We're gonna sign the papers in a couple of days, and
Okay, I just need to hear it from her.
you want to? What do you mean?
I need to meet her.
How about if she texts you? Would that be good?
You know, the best thing I can say about this is that there comes a movie every now and then that reminds me about how much I want to fuck Jennifer Aniston. Because she annoys me every time I see her in the grocery store. You know, when I'm shopping and she's next to when I see when I see her on the
you want fries with that?
yeah.
She's checking you out and weighing your cabbages.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm asking to squeeze my melon and shit. No, she's when I see her on magazine racks and everything, and I'm just like, I'm sick of hearing about her, Brad Pitt, the other fucking crazy bitch that he's married to. You know, but then I see
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie, thank you. Yes.
That other crazy bitch.
That other crazy bitch. Yes. Yeah, you know that chick. You know, she's up and coming. But
the chick they actually make a joke about in the film.
I must have been asleep on that part.
Yeah, I missed that point. I may have been holding my head in my hands and rocking back and forth, crying to myself.
You know what, man? I outside of talking about how sexy Jennifer Aniston is, which she is. I mean, her personality is she always comes off as a sourpuss. She's a perpetual wet blanket, and she is hot. But I got to say, man, I enjoyed this movie based solely on the fact that you and Cyrus were so tortured watching it.
Tortured, man. I thought that the title of the film, Just Go With It, is a plea to the audience. Please, just go with it. It's funny. It gets better.
How about they shorten that title to Just Go? Because that's what I wanted to do.
Hey, man, this movie was so bad we had to bring Carlisle in for this.
You can loosen my restraints, by the way. I won't run this time, I promise. No, I was watching this thing and I'm like, when the fuck did Adam Sandler start making parody movies to expand the funny people universe?
Right.
Like movies that he doesn't, that are, this movie looks like the movie.
Like Dolphin Boy.
It looks like one of those movies that he shot in there that's parodying the other films he made, and he's making it with the same kind of passion. Like you can see the look in his eyes when he's like, look, just do the gag so we can get the shot and we can continue to hang out in Hawaii. That's the whole reason we shot this movie.
Yeah.
We're hanging out in Hawaii. I get to see Jennifer Aniston and this hot bitch no one's ever heard about in bikinis for like 12 hours out of the day, and then we're all going to get drunk together. So do the fucking gag, kid, okay?
You know what? When you say it like that, I'm on board. I mean, I'd be like, man, fuck you, Adam Sandler. Your movies are shit. I don't like none of them. And okay, let me hear your pitch one more time.
But it felt like he's
Dude,
still
let's
trying to
go.
do that mix between a family thing that you can bring your kids to and something that's still kind of risque. It's like he said, but you know what? I felt like we went too mature with something like Spanglish. What if Dennis Dugan came in and directed it like he has my last 8 movies?
Yes.
Yeah. And we got the guy who used to write Three's Company to write the plot.
Yeah.
Well, you say that, but it's actually the plot, the story is based on a French play, and it's a French, one of those.
It has that farce.
Yeah, it's that classic style confusion comedy where all lying and when will the lie unravel kind of thing, but done by a couple of frat boy retards.
Well, that's what Americans do. We see a movie in French and we think it's like really artsy, and we take Americans and to remake it and we realize, oh, these French movies are really shitty.
Well, no. What it is we American men, we love the French and we want to fuck anything French, and we just see that play, we got to fuck the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, Pepe Le Pew? I want to fuck him.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the problem is that we don't understand how to sell a scene where you go, okay, now there has to be a convincing reason why this person would create an enormously elaborate lie to this other person here. And they don't understand. There's like this gap. They go, fuck it. They just do.
Yeah, it's like that. Like there's no real set writing. There's no balance. There is no as you say, Cyrus. There's nothing to compel you to keep going with the plot that they set up. At some point,
I beg to
somebody
differ.
would go like, hey, this is what's really going on. God damn it. I don't have time for this.
Every time that girl shows up in a bikini, it's like, oh yeah, that's why they're lying.
Well, that does stop the movie cold for a minute there.
Yeah, it does work once.
They run her slow-mo every chance they can get, and God bless them for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no,
it kept me from hanging myself during this film.
Before we go too far, we're talking about lack of plot. Believe it.
Let us go in depth to this fine American piece of literature.
Please spend 9 seconds explaining the plot of this movie.
This isn't film; it's theater.
Jesus.
It's not a simple plot. It's just a total bullshit.
You can set up the premise and everything else after that is just fucking filler. But Adam Sandler plays this guy when he was growing up. You know, the girl he was supposed to marry left him. And,
no, he left her.
I mean, she was gonna leave his ass at some point, so because she didn't want to deal with him because he was an ugly kid. But
he got screwed over at the altar.
Yeah.
Ends up going out for a drink, has the ring on still, and ends up scoring with a girl and discovering that having a fake wife that he says doesn't love him anymore gets him more pussy than anything else in the world, and he becomes a player pretending to have a bad wife.
By the way, tried that, doesn't work.
Yeah, I was what's your Carlisle all the
time? My wife, she beats me so fast.
Yeah. Thing is, only worked for one person, and he married her. Well, I already got the ring. So. But after that, he meets this girl who's 23, and what's the girl's name? Brooklyn Dodger, Brooklyn Decker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
she's 23, but to be fair, she looks 18.
They have sex on the first night that they meet. He figures like this girl is the one. She's she's young. I get along with her. She got big titties. I don't want any more right here. But the only problem is she finds the ring and says, you're married. I can't be with a married guy. So now he has to create this lie in which he's a plastic surgeon at this point. He involves his assistant, Jennifer Aniston, to come in and play his wife. And then it leads on from there that they have kids. And then it leads on from there my wife has a guy that she's with. And it's just, it's just getting deeper and deeper into lies and to the point of ridiculousness.
Well, I would just say it's important to point out that the reason he brings Jennifer Aniston in because he can't tell the truth hey, I bring a fake ring so I can get laid.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah. But he can say I'm getting divorced. Well, she's like, well, if that's true, I want to hear it from your wife. So now he's got to find a wife, and that's why he brings Jennifer Aniston to be the ex-wife or the soon-to-be ex-wife who gives her a blessing.
I'm thinking for a moment that, as it always happens in these, if you're even mildly serious, he's like, this is it. She's the one. I'm serious about her. And this issue will never come up again.
I would take it back further than that. Okay, they have sex on the beach, and then she finds a ring you're married. I can't believe you would do that. It's like, hey, bitch. You slept with a guy you just met 3 hours ago. How do you get to have a moral high ground?
I'm not sure that's immoral.
No, I'm not. But she's the one suddenly
there is absolutely nothing immoral about beautiful 23-year-old women fucking men as soon as they meet them.
No.
That should be in the fucking Bible. Is what that should be.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong.
That should be law.
But it should be law for her to suddenly go wait, you have things about you that I didn't know already? This is bullshit.
Well, yeah.
I love how he's supposedly this incredible liar that it never dawned on him to say, oh no, you don't understand. I'm a plastic surgeon. I have women hitting on me all the time. It's very uncomfortable. So I have this fake ring that I wear to parties and stuff so that I can fake. Hey, why don't we go to my house, which is this big, beautiful house that has nothing, it has no family in it, has nothing. You can see that clearly I'm a bachelor. I'll take you to my work. You can talk to my employees. I am clearly not a married man. It's the easiest fucking thing in the world, but no, we have to create this thing.
Well, that's what this movie is like. This is one of our biggest complaints.
You described the 20-minute version.
Yeah, we have that complaint with every, at this point, romantic comedy that we see where if people would just stop to listen and listen to somebody explain carefully what's going on, it could be settled right there. Of course, we wouldn't have a movie. And in this movie, they do this throughout the whole film as the lies pile on one after another. They could easily be explained. And at some point, you just got to stop and say, this will never work. But it's not that kind of film.
Well, and the girl has to be the sweetest, dumbest block of wood on the face of the fucking planet.
Gorgeous block of wood, to be sure.
Yeah,
but still a block of wood. You'd get splinters if you had sex with her.
I mean, that's the point. You're a middle-aged guy, and the girl you're dating is reading 17 magazines because she likes it.
Yeah.
A light has to go off in your head and go I got to stop.
Well, she's 23 and she's still reading 17 magazines. She's retarded. Okay.
Yeah. How is this the girl she's the one?
And it's okay for a little while,
because she's a 23-year-old who thinks she's a teenager who fucks on the first date. That's why it's okay.
No, that's why it's okay to fuck her. Sure, I get that.
That's what he was doing.
But no, he's all like, no, she's the one. I want to dedicate my life to her.
The Coast
Well,
to
come
Life
on,
guy,
let's be honest. That was the one thing I bought because he was. I mean, have we ever thought Adam Sandler has ever played a character that was out of the teen years?
Okay, granted.
I was going to say, even here, even though he's a plastic surgeon with a successful business, he's still a teenager, and they make a point of reminding you of that over and over again in this film. He's still that guy who has not evolved past his first year at a frat.
Oh yeah, because he's still doing this every now and then. It's just kind of like, all right, they're kind of both retarded. Yeah, but and if you look carefully on the beach, you can see him putting that bottle of roofies away. It's like, damn, I don't need this. This is easy. This is shooting puss in a barrel. But I like Adam Sandler. I do. In fact, we're talking about how, man, every Adam Sandler movie sucks. I mean, come on. We've all liked several Adam Sandler movies.
There's been some here.
Well, but they're not the Happy Madison Adam Sandler films, though. You're the ones we like.
I'm talking about Happy Madison. I'm talking about like Don't Mess with the Zohan. Saw that the other day.
Yeah, I like Don't Mess with the Zohan. I like 50 First Dates.
50 First Dates.
I like 2/3 of 50 First Dates.
I like The Wedding Singer.
The Wedding Singer.
Well, The Wedding Singer is the one that everybody likes.
I'm the guy who likes Happy Gilmore, though. I think
everybody likes Happy Gilmore.
That's okay.
So
every now and then, Adam Sandler will make a movie where he jokers me. I mean, what he does, it's like laughing gas. It's like I'm still chuckling at some things, but I'm dying while I'm watching. It's like I just want to get the fuck out, and I still will continue to chuckle. And this is that movie. This is a vacation. This is one of those movies where it reminded me of that Couples Retreat, where it's a vacation because
the movie only exists so these stars could go have a great vacation.
This movie's 2 hours fucking long almost, and it's a 30-minute sitcom. What we see here, this would be wrapped up on Three's Company in fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
22 minutes.
And yet, when Adam Sandler goes to Hawaii, and they must have just shot a lot of shit because he wanted to stay there for 2 or 3 weeks because the movie from that point is nothing. I mean, it really is just filler. This is a TV show. I mean, in a bad TV show. There's so many things that, like the whole deal with them going to Hawaii and the way they just they clumsily make all the main characters have to go there together to the point they make Nick Swartzen do a really bad German accent and wear these bad glasses. I mean, it's almost
having a laugh. You're having a laugh.
Wunderbar! Danny, wait! Marfenstein! I could not stand to be without you. Uh-oh, is this him? I see the Colonel Von Generous right here in front of me.
Okay, I'm confused right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have not introduced myself. We have talked on the phone. But I am the Dolph Lundgren. Devlin's band friend / love monkey.
Oh, kill me now.
I think this is so great of all of you, so mature. I would have loved if my parents had done something.
I know.
They got divorced.
Oh, well, yeah, that's why I was thinking we should have the man come. This is, I'm glad.
It's important for the children to see us as a unit. And also, I cannot stay away from this potato pancake. She loves the schnitzel, you know what I mean?
You watch this and you're like, there's so many scenes that could be cut out of here just for length, but there's so many scenes that be cut out because they're bad. I'm looking at some scenes because, I'll just go down the list real quick and I'll let y'all continue. I'm looking at everything that this movie has that annoys the fuck out of me. It has the montage.
Oh, God. I look over at Corey. There's a trying on clothing montage.
Jennifer Aniston.
It's Corey's favorite montage.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston has to play the role of his ex-wife, so he takes her shopping. Of course, they got to go to that closet in front of the mirror and do that thing, and the costume change and snap one after another. They got like the really bad sidekick, the annoying sidekick that I hate, played by Nick Swartzen.
My favorite thing about the montage was that they totally hoodwinked you with the photage. Like they're like, oh, we're about to hit a montage. Here comes the pop song, and he realizes he's with the wrong girl, and he goes kind of traipsing down the hallway. It's like, oh, we're in a photo. Oh, it's not a montage. And then they hit us with the montage.
And then they hit us with the montage.
It's like, we totally fucking snowed you.
Like,
dude, they fake with the right and hit with the left.
I know. You get tapped on the shoulders like, who's that? Montage! No, I tell you what that montage did. That montage fucking velociraptored me. You looking at one montage hiding behind a tree or something, and then behind you another one comes up and attacks and shit. What's that you said? Clever montage. But, the kids, they had two annoying kids in there. One kid way too precocious and happy. The other kid is like too forlorn and depressing.
Yeah, just so exaggerated. But the worst thing was it's just one of those like ear like daggers every time the little girl speaks because she wants to be an actress, and so she assumes like this Cockney accent for the duration of the film while she's playing the performance of Adam Sandler's daughter with the entertainment of Hot Block.
It's really when anybody does a fake British accent for too long.
I wanted to smash her in the face every time she talked. And how often can you say that about like an 11-year-old girl?
You found that worse than the subplot for the little boy, the little boy whose only subplot was occasionally he shits a lot.
Yeah. Well, you had to go in poop jokes. It's an Adam Sandler film.
It was just such a non sequitur that they finally went for with one of the worst jokes in the movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And how many songs did they have that started out? I know you must have noticed this. How many songs that you one would Sting?
But you mean all the mashups?
Well, all that. Yeah, you thought that it was one song, and then it would be like some pop mashup, a terrible pop mashup, by the way. And it's like,
there was like 8 Sting songs in this film.
Well,
over and over and over.
The police, because Adam Sandler. I mean, there was one thing. You know what? I liked Jennifer Aniston in this movie because she seemed to be like acting like she was in a real movie. Like she just didn't have the heart to face that she was in a piece of shit, complete piece of shit. But also her character was one that called Adam Sandler, not Adam Sandler's character, but called Adam Sandler out on his bullshit. And one about how his musical tastes are arrested in one decade and will not move past 1995. In every one of his movies, that's all he does. He has karaoke music played throughout the movie.
In fact, now he's best buddies with what's that guy?
Who, Dave Matthews?
Dave Matthews, yeah.
You say best buddies. I think he has a file on Dave Matthews in a vault. He says like, look, you got to come in my movie and embarrass yourself. You're enough to be in it. You have to embarrass yourself every time you're in one of them.
The very worst thing about this movie is that we have to watch Nicole Kidman appear in an Adam Sandler film, playing Dave Matthews' wife, an old school nemesis of Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah,
and it's not that she's bad in it. It's just that she's in it at all.
Well, but I'm assuming it's because Steve Buscemi went, no, I'm not doing it this time. I got a show on HBO. I'm a leading man. Fuck you. Get Nicole Kidman.
Hey, man, that probably isn't what happened because Rob Schneider wasn't in it either. It was not like he was like, fuck you, I got better. Why can't I be in it?
You know what? I'm just going to bring up the fact that there's a scene in here in which there's a hula off between Jennifer Aniston and Nicole Kidman, and I couldn't help but think that 10 years ago this might have given me wood.
Yeah. Well, now it feels a little.
I still got it.
But see, I knew you would. I was watching it going, wow, these girls are way too old to be doing this. Except Corey's probably stroking it in the seat behind me.
That actually made it hotter that they were too old to be doing that. Are you kidding me? And they're just so desperate they were up there doing it anyway.
Corey probably felt like a pedophile watching it.
Too young for me.
Do they read 17 magazine too?
Yeah, because there's like one real fat woman who's about 50, and then there's one woman who's like 80 up there. And when they start, because the scene is it is like you said, it's a hula off.
Oh, don't make me relive the scene.
So they gotta vote people off stage. And when they start taking like the 80-year-old woman off, like, well, wait a minute, I voted for her. Why don't take her away?
Man, y'all just don't like hot women. That's all it is.
Y'all just don't appreciate older women. They know what they're doing. Now, man, I really, this is the movie. Now, while I'm sitting there, I really did just want to leave. I mean, it wasn't even because I was just hating the film. That's the weird thing about this movie. It's like, I felt like I was at a party where my ride left me there and I had to stay. Now, I want to leave at this point because I'm tired, but while I'm there, somebody still comes up, kind of makes me laugh, but it's way time for me to go. And that's what I felt like with this movie. I was like, I know this is going. I've seen it all. And you know what? It's probably going to get worse than what I thought. So if I leave now, I'm actually doing this movie a favor. And the ending really just threw me over Niagara Falls in a fucking barrel, man.
Yeah, as well you knew it would.
Yeah, but I tell you, though, Adam Sandler, the reason why I like Adam Sandler is because when he's not being too annoying, which as he's gotten older, he's gotten away from like doing that retarded thing that we always talk about. He seems more like the guy that would just be fun to hang out with. Every now and then he cracks a good one. He has a nice comeback. He's really down to earth. I like the way he interacts with kids. And so I enjoy watching him more. The more I see him as he gets older, but the older he gets, it's like he'll either make a really good film when he departs from Happy Madison or whatever his company is, or he'll go off and make like movies that just continue to get worse and worse in that vein.
I don't get the impression that Adam Sandler would be fun to hang out with. I mean, everybody probably hangs out with him because he's rich and he does crack
and pays for everything.
But yeah, he pays for everything. But he has this annoying habit. I noticed this back in Big Daddy where it bothered me, where there'll be a character he'll pick on about one thing, And it's that same thing, that same button he hits over and over.
You know what?
I work at a Hooters.
I was gonna say,
You're a Hooters waitress. And now it's like, oh, the guy with the soul patch.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Aniston is going out with a guy. Yeah, she's going out with a guy who she just mentions like, oh, this guy plays bass, and he's like, oh, you talking about the guy with the soul patch? Hey man, he does that through the whole film. Yeah, he will focus on one thing and do that.
What's wrong with the running joke when it's funny? When it's Adam Sandler doing an irritating voice.
Anything somebody teases you over. Somebody might catch you, find something that you're sensitive about and tease you about it. You might go like, you have to admit that you got me. That was pretty good. When they do it over and over, it's like, okay, now you're just being annoying and not even funny. Yeah. And I'm actually starting to feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
And it's just, and he has developed a new shtick now to where he says something and while people are talking, he kind of narrates it. Like, as if he's above it, like, oh, now you're gonna do that thing, are you? Okay, here we go.
Wow,
it's like,
you've diagrammed him at this point.
Yeah,
you're right.
Well, he's becoming the Jewish father, is what he's becoming.
Yeah,
that's the role he's starting to play.
Map the Adam Sandler genome, and I know exactly what he's gonna do.
Wow, you JFK'd him at all.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
The movie's predictable enough without him doing that. I mean, the only thing it surprises you on is just the depths it's willing to go to.
Yeah.
And, the big lapses in not just logic, but judgment. And I just got the feeling like, you know what, it's Adam Sandler going back to the well, like just not one too many, but way too many times. Like, I could just feel like even people who've been fans of his watching this movie and feeling weary. Like,
yeah.
Enough already. It's like
intensely lazy.
I don't know about that.
You know what? I completely agree. They go to Hawaii, and the first thing I thought is, when is Adam Sandler going to have to get on water skis and jump over the shark tank? Because it really felt like that. It was like, this is that moment when Adam Sandler, we were already tired of him, but now we're just exhausted with him. Like, God damn it, dude. Seriously? Is there going to be a cursed idol, too?
Yeah. I would tell you this much, man. And this is me wrapping it up, kind of. I would have been more forgiving of this film because I am kind of forgiving of some movies that make me laugh. But a movie that's of this type that's 2 hours long, that's way too long. And I really would have forgiven it had it. Okay, we got all this stuff that's going on. I mean, we are watching, if nothing else. I mean, yeah, it's taken out of the real world, but we're watching a big disaster happening. And this movie does not have any conflict at the end whatsoever. Adam Sandler literally narrates and says after a crossfade, well, it all worked out just fine. This thing happened and that thing happened and everybody's happy. Yeah, nobody was mad, no feelings were hurt. It's all okay. Did you laugh, people? That's all you need. And so because of that, and because of the other thing that really annoys me, people falling in love. Adam Sandler meets this girl after he knows her for 2 weeks and is talking about, he's looking at rings and wants to marry. Of course, if my girl had a bunch of titties like that, I would want to lock that shit down too.
Well, yeah, and the girl's going, yeah, if I met an attractive guy who was a plastic surgeon and had enough money to drop $20,000 a night for hotel rooms in Hawaii and just kind of bitch about it a little bit, then yeah, you would marry that asshole.
Okay, I'll let that go. It happens every day. You're right.
To be fair, I would marry that guy.
Yeah, you're right. I'm probably being a little harsh there, but as
a blonde wig and a push.
But as far as everything else,
that seed.
Yeah, no. As far as everything else, like I said, I can't give it bullshit because I laughed. I did laugh. I laughed hard. There's one scene where I was groaning, and it was a scene. Well, it was a scene where. And I don't want to ruin it too much. I won't tell you what happened. I would just say that there was a scene where Adam Sandler was walking with Jennifer Aniston. They're like, and the kids, and like, okay, let's go into this. What is it? It's a Chuck E. Cheese ripoff.
Oh, you did laugh really hard.
I did, and they're walking in slow motion, and I'm thinking like, man, that is horrible that they're walking in slow motion. In the middle, something happens that made me laugh, and the reason why it made me laugh because it caught me off guard. So I'm childish.
That was really your Robert De Niro moment. Everybody in the audience is just like, this is, and you're like,
oh no, you didn't.
Yeah, there was a retarded kid in the front who turned back and looked at you like, what the hell?
No, do you know the audience you were with? There were some people way up in the bleachers laughing like that too. But
that's right, Corey. You weren't alone.
No, I was not alone. I was probably in bad company, but I was not alone. But I tell you, so there were some moments that I did laugh. I'm childish like that. I'm not going to sit up here and be a stick in the mud completely. But it is right there on the verge of being some more bullshit. I really just, this movie, it took everything out of me. It just took it sucked. This movie was my succubus, man.
So what would you said is on the verge of something?
Yeah, so that's like an extremely low rental. Anybody?
Leon.
Anybody?
Wow. I can't help but like, to me, this is what we have the some old bullshit rating for. A movie like this. In fact, I have been sitting here the whole time debating like, all right, do I give it a some old bullshit or fuck you? And I would maybe go with the some old bullshit just because thinking about it, man, I got to give it up to Jennifer Aniston, who really did try the whole time.
And she wasn't annoying as she usually is.
Not only was she not annoying, she was grounding, and it was like, okay, she's that character who felt realistic in the midst of all the chaos, and she was the glue behind it. Poor fucking Nick Swartzen, who has been funny at times, is just given the worst stuff to do. I'm see, this is why I say it would not be good to be Adam Sandler's friend, because he's going to drop a lot of money on you, but he's going to make you pull your pants down and show your asshole in front of everybody. In front of your parents.
On stage.
Yeah. And even that one guy he gives work to from Grandma's Boy, he finds a way to stick him in at the very end in something that's completely embarrassing. It's like he only
was he in this?
Yeah. He's gained so much weight you didn't recognize.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, this commits the biggest sin of all in that it's a comedy, a 2-hour comedy. That's not funny. Maybe you got some chuckles out of it. God bless you, Corey, for that.
Hey, I'm a simple man.
But myself, no. I might have got I didn't see that coming. That one scene you're talking about. Okay, that was one genuine surprise moment, but that's the only one. Every other one was like, not only did I see this coming, but I was begging that they wouldn't do it, and they did, and it just couldn't go off soon enough. But only because of Jennifer Aniston, I'm only going to give it some old bullshit.
Leon, can I ask you something? Sure. You're talking about Jennifer Aniston and how she, was a real trooper and didn't want to acknowledge what a piece of shit she was in. Can you name me one movie that she's done that was good? That wasn't a complete piece of shit where she didn't act her way through, unaware that she was making shit. I don't think she knows that she's making shit. I can't. I'm sitting here struggling. I can't think of. I love Jennifer Aniston. I've loved Jennifer Aniston since she was on that TV remake of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Well,
Parker Lewis Must Lose?
No. They had a Ferris Bueller TV show, and she was the Jennifer Grey.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
But I can't think of one.
Well, but you know what? Maybe that's her. Maybe every job she gets, whether it's shit or not, she just goes like, "Look, I'm here to do the best job I can."
Yeah, but what's your rating, Carlisle?
Well, I you know what? I'm not going to spend 10 minutes debating it. It's some old bullshit. I mean, it's Adam Sandler's films keep getting worse, and this is just embarrassing. It was really hard to watch. I'm with Corey on that. There were some jokes that worked, but they were all one-off jokes. They were none of the setup jokes. Everything that they set up was painful to watch and made me cringe. And if I'm cringing through half the film, I don't care if you make me laugh during any other points in the movie. I'm having a really bad time going, wow, this is not enjoyable. It's some old bullshit.
This is the squirmiest movie I've seen yet this year, and for the better part of last year, for that matter. I mean, literally, there was a point that I was leaving. I said, "Fuck this," and Leon grabbed my arm and said, "You are going nowhere." Like, get off me! Get off me! No, you cannot leave. I am not even exaggerating.
I'm glad he did that to you because you did that to me. I was about to get up and go, and then
you couldn't go.
But you reminded me because you said, "Hey, you haven't paid your tab," and I was like, "Fuck."
But you know what? You were right, Corey, that there are some points that I did genuinely chuckle in it, but you were right, Carlisle, and you said that they were totally one-offs. They were mainly just absurdist, and so they were funny because that's just so fucking absurd. It has nothing to do with being good inside of the plot. But goddamn, that doesn't make up at all for how much I just desperately wanted to get away from this film. I had to take off the little bracelet they gave me to say, like, so I could come in and out of the theater because I felt like it was burning my skin because it was attached to this film in some way. So I'm not giving it a fuck you because, like I said, there was a points I chuckled, and I agree with you absolutely about Jennifer Aniston, Leon. I think that she is maybe the one saving grace of this film at all, which I never thought I'd say.
I know.
But it's still some old bullshit. Jesus, is it ever? Wow.
And I guess the other thing is, man, the movie did keep me in there because you're showing this girl running in slow motion, and not only running in slow motion to the point where her tits are like going up and down, but they just kind of take on a life of their own. It's just like they start punching her in the face and moving around like orbiting planets. A lot of slow-mo with Brooklyn Decker. I mean, that's the thing that kind of kept me sitting there like, when is the next
Decker
slow?
sounds like a sex act.
You know what? I've given a woman a Brooklyn Decker. It's not something.
I wish this Brooklyn Decker was a sex act.
It's going to be like a Black & Decker.
Let me put his pee-pee on my face!
He put his face on my pee-pee!
Danny!